So long review of the new Riff High Note collection, First Decades. This is their 10-year-old whiskey and rye. Picked this up through their whiskey club. And there's Oscar in the background. He's making an appearance. I would say the best looking whiskey wiener in all of whiskey YouTube, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
That escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
But anyway, hang around for the review. The too long, can't be bothered reading version is they're both really good. They're both fantastic value for their $90 price, and can't wait for New Riff to have this stuff on the shelf. So, well, let's get into the review. So these bottles were only available through the New Riff Whiskey Club. It is free to join, so jump on the New Riff website and find their whiskey club and join that. They will let you know when new stuff comes out and give the opportunity to buy it first. This stuff basically sold out, so if you missed out, you missed out. But the good news is, if this is what their 10-year stuff is like, then it bodes very well for the future. So let's get into the review and see what we think about it. So these two bottles are very similar. The only difference is one has bourbon written in cursive and one has rye. Apart from that, the color's the same, the words are the same, the proof is the same, the year is the same. And as it turned out, when I got back, I picked up my bottles and a few other buddies' bottles, and when I got back to the truck, something just made me just check, and they had actually given me all ryes, which would have been very disappointing because I was very interested in getting the bourbon, or at least both of them. So, but I was able to go back and sort that out. But yeah, because it's a limited edition, obviously when the stuff gets to a shelfer, they'll probably differentiate a little bit more, put some green on the rye, which is pretty common. But yeah, their colors are very, very similar. A very nice copper red, not overly dark. Well, it is dark, but not like the Russell Reserve 15 dark, but just a very, very nice color on these things. And after my spillage and all the rest of it, I could already tell what sort of smell these things would have, and it is a very typical New Riff nose. Something about New Riff, I don't know what it is, whether it's some sort of the rye they use or something about what they do, but it is very quite noticeable, and these both have that in spades. So here are some samples of the New Riff High Note, Bourbon and Rye, and also that Sazerac store pick that I'm going to give away to my members. So if you want to become a member of House Bourbon, click on the link. You can't do it from an iPhone, you sort of have to do it from a browser or a computer. So yeah, maybe go to YouTube on your iPhone browser and go from there. So this is a review of the New Riff High Note. This is their High Note collection, and this is their First Decade Kentucky Bourbon and Rye. So New Riff is in Newport, Kentucky. Do not call it Cincinnati, even though it's just across the river there. But it was started in 2014 by Ken Lewis. He actually owned the Party Source, which is a huge liquor store. Link to that video. And he set up a distillery in the same parking lot. So anyway, you can't own a distillery and a store thanks to the 3-tier system. So he sold that store to his employees. So now he owns a distillery, and he's been making some fantastic stuff. This is their first 10-year stuff that they've released. Now they do have some 10-year stuff in this thing here. So this came out last year. This is the headliner, and it actually had 45% of 10-year-old bourbon. This is 100% 10-year-old bourbon and 100% 10-year-old rye. So the bourbon is 65% corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley. The rye is their 95.5, but not 95.5 you might expect. It's 95 rye, 5% malted rye. So it's 100% rye. Now these were $90. You did have to be a part of their whiskey club But man, join that. It's free. And they send you out emails. Signed up for it. You were able to get 2 of each. I sort of messed up my order a little bit, so I didn't get the full amount. But let's give these bad boys a go. First, the bourbon. So these are 120.5 proof, so they're up there. They're both 120.5 proof, which is interesting how they got them to exactly the same proof. Now, did they blend it that way? I don't mention that they're barrel proof. So maybe they added a bit of water to get them down. Maybe they just selected barrels to make it both 120.5. Now on the nose of the bourbon, I don't know if you've had any new Riff, but it has a very distinct nose, man. Like that barrel has it, even though that's a rye, even though the rye has it. Very cinnamon heavy. I quite like it. A buddy of mine, Mike, he had it last night and he said he was having some nose issues, so it might have been that, but he said he couldn't pick up much on the nose. But I get quite a lot there. So, Mike, you need to fix your nose, buddy. But that's quite good. Let's try it. It doesn't really drink its proof. It actually drinks quite a little bit below its proof. I want to say like 110 at the most. It's not as dark as what I might have expected. Still got a nice rye kick in there. You do detect oak, so that is there, which on a new Riff you don't normally get. But they always make good stuff. Even at 4 years, it's really good. So I'd say, yeah, that cinnamon comes across really heavy. A slight dark sort of fruit going on. So I was able to try a 10-year bourbon that was given to us after we did a barrel pick there. I wouldn't say this is as dark as that, you know, on the palate, or even in by looks of it, but it's definitely up there. And man, for $90, it's a steal. It's an absolute steal. Yep, I really like that. It's got a reasonably long finish of that spices and the cinnamon, really like a red hot spicy cinnamonness to it. So that's quite good. And the more I drink it, I think that might even open up. It's been open for a little bit longer, but as I sip on it, I think it just gets better and better. So that is a good one. I'm going to give that 2 thumbs up. Let's move on to the rye. Sports mode, relax mode. He's always in sports mode, this boy. So can you not squeak just for fucking a few more minutes? Sorry, bud. So I quite like that rye. Let's go back to this bourbon for a second. They have a real new Riff nose to them, man. I don't know, something about new Riff that just, their rick houses and their bourbons, their ryes, everything just, it's very good. I really like it. But if you've smelled their 4-6 year, you might know what I mean, and this has got it more, a little bit more oak to it. So, even if you're not a fan of the mintiness of the rye, that is a good one, because that does not come across in the palate. And this guy, back to the bourbon. I think the bourbon has more of a spicy sort of rye finish, really. No, they're both. I like them a lot. For $90, they were a great score, great pickup. So unfortunately, they sold out really quick. But the good news is, this is what New Riff will be bringing out, and you know, $90. New Riff really hits a sweet spot for value. And if they can bring something out that isn't a limited release at around that $80, $90 for 10 years, yeah, it's going to be great. So let's just have a quick taste of the headliner. See how this one. I haven't drunk this for a while. Now this one was a combination. So this one was 45% 10-year-old bourbon, 20% 9-year-old bourbon, 30% 9-year-old rye, and 5% 7-year-old single malt. So, barley. So they basically made up their mash bill by combining the barrels, sort of like a blended Canadian type thing. That one just hits a bit more special for sure. A bit more malty, a bit more chocolate on that one. Surprising considering the combination is younger than these ones, but that one hits pretty nice. I've got to say I prefer the headliner over these two, but they're all great. Can't get any of them unfortunately, so you know it is what it is. But keep an eye out for the older age stated New Riff stuff. It's all fantastic, and New Riff, man, they're smoking it out of the park, I think. Can't wait till their stuff gets even older, like 12, 13, 14, 15 years. They might have some B-Tech level stuff. So, long story short, New Riff, Bourbon and Rye, can't get it anymore. If you did get it, cool. I'm giving away some samples to my members. Become a member, you might get some samples next time. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. What do you think of New Riff? Have you tried New Riff? I didn't try it for the longest time. I just didn't like their bottle. Bottle didn't impress me. I don't like a dark bottle. But it was a mistake because they make some really good stuff. Silver Grove, fantastic. Promising homer. I'd pick one up every time I go past and do not every time for whatever reason. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, thanks for watching again. See you next time.